If you tell me you've got a desire, I'm all in. Do you want to grow?
Absolutely.
Take notes and make sure it improves your business. Everybody wants to grow. You deserve to grow.
You don't pitch to investors to try your luck. You pitch to investors to win.
If it's not challenging, I don't think it's worth it.
The right advice to give in business is validate the idea first.
Most of you out there who want to grow, your issue is just starting, isn't it?
It's important that people just follow what they want to do.
It's an opportunity of a lifetime for all of us.
The podcast is not about them growing, it's about them helping others grow. Hello and welcome to I Want to Grow. I Want to Grow is all about just that. It's about our growth, right? Not on this show. This show is all about the other person's growth with people like Ivie. It's all about helping others grow, letting others believe in you and trying to support them in any way you can. So we have this very special lady on our show today, which I thought the first time I saw you on the demo day with Scale 7 was amazing. I thought you were amazing.
Thank you.
Please tell everybody about yourself and tell them what you do.
My name is Ivie Odemwingie-Osula. I'm the creative director and founder of DWL, Defining Women's Lifestyle. It's a high fashion female brand that caters to women who understand the power of dressing as a tool to project confidence. That's basically, we make blazer sets and lounge sets for women. And we're so opportune to get into the Skill 7 Accelerator program where I met you. And I would say since then, it's been amazing. Amazing.
And as you were saying about your jackets, I'm here trying to pull myself in and looking very prim and proper because I was lucky enough and I was fortunate enough. We'd done a judging competition the other day.
Yes.
And I just saw you in another different light where you were giving your expertise to these young kids, basically, that was just taking their first steps, their very first steps. And the way that you done this and you told them, and the way that you used the terminologies, I loved every second of it. And the way that you did it was just brilliant for those youngsters.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy that I'm getting this feedback because, I started the brand in 2017 and I know that one of the things I've told myself is you need to give back. You need to give back to younger ones who are coming into this industry. So me seeing them with their first collection, it took me back to when I just started my brand, and everybody who has helped me along the way got me to where I am here. So I think it's only fair for me to be able to give them constructive criticism, teach them the right terms so that as they go into the world of entrepreneurship and fashion, they go in armed.
The one thing that I think where you said constructive criticism, whatever you want to call it, I didn't see any constructive criticism or the word criticism. Constructive, yes. The criticism I didn't see because you put it in such a way that it was understandable. It was just so clear, and you could see they got it straight away. Where the terminologies with the police and those different things, it was just lovely to hear. So I congratulate you, and I really do admire you. I've seen what you've done so far.
Thank you.
So you're in Qatar. We're in Qatar. We're in Scale 7 right now. I love Scale 7.
Scale 7.
Scale 7.
The land of possibilities.
Oh my word, that's a great one.
If I dare say so, yes.
The world of possibilities.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what this place creates.
Yes. I'm a testimony of that. When I came into Skill 7 program, I think my brand has grown I started my brand in Nigeria.
Okay, let's talk about your journey not so far. Yeah, from whatever age it was where you got this burning desire that you wanted to do something different.
Okay, I was that kid. I'm an only girl. I was that kid who grew up when I'm bored, I wear all the clothes in my wardrobe again, and just have a good time. And then I've always been known to dress good, if I do say so. I was a banker, supply chain finance, like nothing like this, working 9 to 5 and doing fashion on the side. Yes. So I started off making pieces for myself, power blazers, power dresses. And then my validation came from colleagues. I remember the first person told me, she said, Ivie, I want you to make me look like Olivia Pope. And I'm like, oh. And she showed me the mood board, Olivia Pope's blazers. And I'm like, oh, okay. One thing about me, I would always say I can do it and I'll figure it out. And so I went and I made the first cut, first sample wrong. By the third sample, I got her 2 fantastic blazers. And I think that was the birth of DWL. And from then on, it was, I'm going to France. I want you to dress this to me. I was in Nigeria then. The brand was birthed in Nigeria. And my validation came from my colleagues at that time, having me dress them. And then after a while, I'm like, okay, DWL. And then I left Nigeria in 2019, moved to the Middle East, Saudi first, and then Qatar. And that is how DWL was birthed. And that is why I validated the being able to dress a woman to come across as confident. I mean, I'm smart, but imagine walking into a room and before you even see anything, you look the part. That's what we do with DWL women, and that's the story so far. And now I'm in Qatar. I got into the Scale 7 program. The accelerator
I don't want to talk about Scale 7. Still, I don't want to talk about Scale 7 because I want to go back on your story.
Okay.
Okay, so you were this big business lady in banking.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, somebody asked you power. Because if somebody said to me, let me do your power jacket or dress you powerfully, I'd be looking up and saying, oh, come on. Okay, but you had this real passion. Somebody said to you and you thought, all of a sudden your life was going to change forever.
Yes.
Change forever.
It did. That was the beginning. And outfits after outfits, blazer after blazer, and I'm here.
You talked about your father briefly beforehand. What did because I already know what, from a father's perspective, I know what they would have been saying when you said, I'm going in a different direction. I'm not in banking anymore. I'm not going here. What did they say to you?
He was like, are you sure? Because then I was so deep in banking, my dad used to joke that I would become the finance minister of my country. That's how much I was in.
Oh, wow.
But I think they always knew that I come from a very supportive family. So if I say I want to do this, like, okay, how do we support you? So, and they saw that I had already started to get clients from my colleagues. So it was a case of how do we support you to encourage you to do this? And so from a family standpoint, I got full support because they understood that, I'm a bit of a go-getter.
So who was your inspiration? Who was that inspiration for you?
My biggest inspiration in fashion, I would say, is Carolina Herrera. Yes.
Okay.
I've learned so much about her brand when I was small and how she's from Venezuela, how she went into fashion, got into New York, became a big deal. And I think she's my first fashion influence, that birth. So even when I was going into DWL, because of her, I have this stance on, dressing the way you want to be addressed, dressed like a power lady, confidence and all that. So yes, I'll say that was my first. Of course, along the way, I've had a lot of other, influences on my life with regards to fashion. But yes, that was the first.
And so you mentioned that your family's been so supportive.
Very supportive. My parents, my husband, my kids. I mean, sometimes my daughter she's taller than me. She serves as my model sometimes. I'm like, wear the outfit. She's like, you're going to pay me. I have friends I have met in Doha who have been very instrumental in ensuring that, because being an entrepreneur can be hard.
Oh, very much
can be very hard, but I've been blessed to find people. I mean, if I can tell my story of how I got into Doha and broke into the fashion scene of Doha, everybody who knows me that story cannot be complete without Harriet, one person. I met. I don't even want to go into the circumstances of how we met, how I forced myself on her. And now we're an item, and she introduced me to other people. But the good thing is that with every referral, and that's the strength of, I think, my brand and so many other brands. You meet one person, you do well, the person says, okay, I met people through her, they like what I made for her, next people, and before you know it, I'm dressing almost all the power ladies in Doha, if I dare so.
Well, let me tell you that what I saw the other day, I was at the Scale 7 demo day, and all of a sudden, you were introduced, DWL, and then all of a sudden, the crowd is going crazy. It was like it was going crazy. And then I saw that kind of what you created on the stage. You created that stage was yours. And it was like there was people kind of clapping and giving an ovation before you even started. Aww. So that respect that you had from that very early stage, that must have been so rewarding. And as you said, extremely I love rewarding. What you're saying about how important those other people have been in your life.
Oh, yes.
Because we can all work as hard as we possibly can. There's people that we see on a daily basis that are working so hard. But it's whether you can keep it up and all of a sudden you'll get spotted by a talent spotter or somebody like Harriet. And I know Harriet very well, yes. And exactly what you're saying.
And she's a big deal.
whoa, she's a big deal. I remember she was going to be our client in the first day, but now she's gone from, in 3 years, she's gone from somebody starting a business to one of the biggest in PR here in Qatar. Yes. Unbelievable story. But I'm glad that you told us the story, how you got involved with her, because that's a special one. And that bonding and the way that they think about it and care about it and how you're portraying yourself is so important, right? Because sometimes these are the values that we miss sometimes. Now, let's go back to so you've left Nigeria. Yeah. Why did you do that for?
Okay, so I left Nigeria to Saudi because my husband got a job in Saudi. But I told myself I need to find fulfillment in myself, not just follow, husband from country to country.
Woman power is best.
Yes, very good. So I got to Saudi and my brand, okay, let me go back. My brand is contemporary Western trends with modest and cultural influences. The modest influences came from my stay in the Middle East. And I realized how beautiful it was to fuse modest dressing with Western trends, which, reflects in my culture. So I got into Saudi and I began to dress women in Saudi, merging modest and Western. And I saw that was my unique selling point, and then from Saudi, I thought, Saudi was good. And I got into Qatar and everything just went boom. So yes, I moved from Nigeria, but I found fulfillment. I moved from Nigeria to Saudi with my husband and my kids. I have 2 daughters, but I've gone on to find fulfillment in fashion, creating and growing my brand out of that, and it has even blossomed more in Qatar.
Have you heard of Pop Idol and Britain's Got Talent, all those singing competitions,
yes.
Right? Fantastic, right?
Amazing.
But you're going into this world of fashion,
yes.
Right? And I look at it from my perspective. I look at it and think to myself, when I'm up on the stage, this must be for the same as you sometimes, where the judges looked up and said, okay, what's your name and where do you come from? You say that. And then they say, so are you going to win Britain's Got Talent? And they go, yes, I'm going to win. And then they start singing, they can't sing, right? Yes. And you think, oh my God, oh my goodness, please, why did you do that for? You've got a real big job in front of you right now. You want to be in fashion and you want to be in the Middle East with a person from Nigeria.
And I want to go global. The brand is already going international. So it's Nigeria to Saudi to Qatar to the Middle East, now international.
So where's your husband now?
He's here in Qatar.
So he's now moved from Nigeria, from Saudi Arabia to come to Qatar.
Yes, to Qatar too.
And now let's talk about Qatar.
Yes.
Since you've been here, what's it done for you?
I can write 3,000 books about being in Qatar. Qatar is when I said Skill 7 is a land of opportunities, it's actually Qatar that's the land of opportunities. I've come here and there's nothing I've dreamt of that I have not been able to achieve. The country is very accommodating. There's so many opportunities and there's a diverse mix of people from around the world. So it looks like I'm living in 30 different countries at the same time. I can tap from people's culture. I can tap from new friends and all. I can tap from it's just different things. Yeah, it's been amazing. The people, the culture, the reception, the opportunities, like going back to Skill 7 again, because believe it or not, it's very instrumental in my journey as the DWL brand and even as a person. So yes, it's been amazing.
I love Skill 7. I think that and this isn't a big advertisement for Skill 7, but I love the things that it's going to make a difference for so many different people.
Are inclusive, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So what's your what's the successes that you've had recently? What are those things that you're going, yes, that's a good one?
Okay, once again, I'll go back to Skill 7. Yeah. Getting into the Skill 7 Accelerator program was amazing. I mean, when I got in, that's when I realized people were like, oh my God, you got in? And I'm like, oh wow, I'm a big deal. Yeah, so getting in that was amazing. And being in Qatar, I've been able to launch my brand into international scenes. I've been able to get, in 2023, we got our first retail partners. I'm now stocked, DWL brand is now stocked in 51 East, yes. Yes, I'm also with Pronto. And also, I've also been able to dress the crop of women who we have a woman, a typical DWL client is dubbed a DWL woman. So a DWL woman stands for confidence, strength, vibrance, sophistication. And the crop of women I've been able to dress in Qatar on an ongoing. I don't want to call it just dressing. I call it wardrobe consultation. The level of women have been able to handle their wardrobes in Qatar, both as an individual, as a stylist, and as the brand. I mean, that's my high for 2023.
I must have, again, going back to this competition that we were at,
Yes.
and there was the lady with the thicker material, and you said, oh, that's great for ladies' contours, the ladies that need to kind of have. I just love those things, and that's what I love about you is that you're thinking about all shapes and sizes.
Yes.
But the biggest message that I get from you is be confident.
Be confident.
Doesn't
Like I
matter
say it
who you
3,000 times. Be confident in your body. Be confident in yourself with everything. One thing I told her that I said, you need to understand the anatomy of a woman's body. At the end of the day, we want to be fly. We want to look slim. We want to look good from all angles. So, that's what I was preaching to them. Understand how a woman's body works, and then you've got her. That's part of the things that I know is my unique selling point, even in women. The fact that I preach to women, be vibrant, be confident, and look good.
Because of their different shapes. And this is not but some women have got bigger hips and different proportionates in their sizes.
Correct.
That's another thing that you've got to overcome, and it's your understanding that I like.
Thank you.
It's your understanding. But your work is fantastic, by the way, and we're going to have all these things flashing in the video as well, so that we can show some of your. Yeah.
Yes.
So you grasp that, you understand, you empathize.
Yes.
With those ladies, which is another important factor, not just because of the brand and what your clothes look like, but the empathy of understanding what you want them to feel like.
Yeah, it's more just a brand. It's more about a movement. It's more a DWL woman. The DWL community is about raising, fanning confident women in their body, with everything. So it's not just about, we're not just selling blazer sets. No, we're working with women to be more confident. We're working with women, girls of different shapes, sizes, race, everything, to just come out and always look their best.
Yeah. Yes. And some people would have run away from this region because everybody says that they are buyers. It's kind of, but you're blending the two now.
Yes. I call it the fusion between contemporary Western trends and modest fashion with a bit of cultural influence.
Oh, I like this. Yeah, I was a chef for 25 years. We've been talking about this all day today, about how much it's not about the menu, the recipe. It's what the love you put in.
Yes.
And that's that little bit of extra spice, right? Yeah. So we briefly touched on, you've got 2 girls.
Yes.
Okay. So what do they think about your mum?
Oh, everybody, they think, Mommy, you do too much. You always, my older daughter says, you're always fancy, Mommy. I'm like, yeah, I gotta be fancy. Yes, but they really support me. My older daughter is my model because she's tall. She's taller than me. So I dress her, put her in the outfits. The younger one, they help me with the business. They like it. They like the fact that it makes their mom cool. And it makes them cool by extension. So yeah, I get all the support from them too. Okay,
and you've just brought me onto another question for you. You said that you're stylish. You've got to kind of put this persona off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your image. That's your kind of, that's you. Somebody said to me once when I started doing because if I just my normal look, I would look miserable.
Yes.
Some guy come up to me and said, Steve, you're a great guy. I know you. You're a great guy. You've got to smile a lot more. You've got to do it at least another 20% of smiling. Okay, and people will see the person you are. Is that something that you've got to put on every time you go out?
So the thing is about me is I'm not really good at pretending. This is who I am. I love fashion. That's how I got into fashion. If I had to put up a face every time, I would burn out. So it looks like I'm getting paid to do what I will do for free. Like, this is me. Even if I didn't have a fashion brand, this is how I will be. I'm vibrant. I do too much. I'm over the top. I'm an extrovert, but I like it.
So how do you switch off when you're at home? Do you ever switch off?
Oh, of course I do switch off. When I'm tired, just go sleep, take off, throw this off. I don't look this fancy at home. No. At home, I'm mommy. There's mommy mode, there's Ivie mode, there's creative director mode, there's friend mode. There are different modes. Okay, so you've been really lucky. You've had this really easy journey. Or has it been an easy journey? I would not say easy. Yeah, switching from a finance background, working with an international bank, to starting my own fashion brand and the teaching stage and growing it to this and moving. I've moved 3 countries, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Starting again is not easy, But what I always look at is the fact that the goal is the focus. The goal is to continue to grow the brand and grow the DWL women community. So that's what keeps me going. So yes.
What was the strength that kept you going through those dark times?
The passion. And I know it sounds cliche, but the passion I have for fashion. Wow, that sounded nice. Passion for fashion. The passion I have for fashion and what I do is what kept me going. That's what started it. Many people, I hear their stories, they started, then they got validation along the way. No, my validation started. That's what propelled me to start the brand. I started off doing stuff for myself, and everybody was like, oh my God, I was the girl who walked into the office with 5-inch heels, pencil dresses, and a power blazer every day, Monday to Friday. So my validation came from doing this to people. And every time I dress a new woman, when I dress her in DW and she goes for an international conference, or she goes for a board meeting, or she goes for a soccer game, or she goes for a social engagement, and she calls me back and tells me, Ivie, I love the way I look, the feedback I got from people. I mean, that just keeps me going. The more I get women who pay for these things coming back like thanking me, I mean, that means it's something good.
What's your ultimate goal? What is it that you're desiring more than anything else?
My ultimate goal is to grow an international international community of DWL women. My ultimate goal is to be stocked in every major city of the world via retail partners and brick and mortar stores. That's my goal for DWL, the brand. And my goal as an individual is to be an authority in fashion. By the time I'm 80, I want to still be an authority in fashion, a global authority in fashion. That's my goal.
I'm looking at you on the stage, and I've just asked you the question to say, are you going to win this competition?
Yes.
I believe you. I believe you. But you're up against so many different odds that
I know. That's niche. For me, the fact that I know I was called to do this. Number two, the fact that I have my niche. I mean, I could make so many things in the world, but right now I'm making blazer sets for women. The fact that I'm playing in my niche and I'm growing at my pace, I think that's why I know, yeah, I'm winning.
Okay, I'm going to start. You're going to be the first one. Okay. I'm going to ask you, what advice from a fashion perspective or in life in general would you give to your 15-year-old self with what you've learned?
Okay, to my 15-year-old self, those who keep telling you do too much, don't listen to them. Those people who tell you talk too much, don't listen to them. Continue to be vocal. Continue to be stylish. Even if you don't have such money now, you're still broke. But just keep at it. In the future, that's what will help you survive through life. That's what I'll tell my 15-year-old self.
Whoa.
Continue. Don't
That's
stop.
Powerful.
Yeah.
And we're the same type. I know we're the same type of character, right?
Yes.
And you've just, because I had somebody say, Steve, you talk too much.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care.
Every report card I had when I was a child, Ivie is very good in school, but she talks too much. Like, there's none. One time you didn't put it, my mom was like, the teacher is a liar. He should have added, she talks too much. I've always been the child who talks too much.
It's kind of, I've always been the same. He's a little bit disruptive in class. Lovely guy to talk to, but a little bit disruptive.
I'm that girl.
I was that guy. It's really good. So with this whole thing, okay, business is not easy.
Yes, it's not.
It sounds like you've got your feet well and truly on the floor.
Yes, I do. Now I do.
You've got people around you. You've got strengths around you.
Yes.
Some people are a little bit scared about that. They're trying to keep it all themselves. What would be your advice with your building your brand to that person doing exactly the same? Okay,
number one, I would say network. Number two, I would say network. Number three, I would say network. Number four, I would say network. And ensure that when you network, when people refer people to you, they get the same experience that whoever referred them to you came. And then open your mind to possibilities. Don't play small. I'm guilty of it sometimes. I'm like, too much for me. Don't play small. Don't play small. Network, don't play small. Be kind to people. And somehow, God will move things for your sake. I think that's...
And the kind of movement that you're getting, can you talk about things that are happening to you in the very near future? Yes, in the very near future, DWL brand will be stocked I would get retail partners in Europe and North America. So the brand would, the footprint we will deepen our strength in GCC,
going into, now we're firmly rooted in Qatar, going into cities like Riyadh, Dubai. Yeah, so I think in the near future, that's what break into European and North American market. That's for DWL brand. And maybe a DWL atelier in the horizon. Never can tell.
You never can tell. I think you're going to achieve everything you're going for anyway.
I know I will.
Your determination. And you've got a great team around you.
I have a great team. I have great people. I have great friends. I have friends who sit up with me at 12 midnight reviewing presentations. I have friends calling people to use their social currency for me. Let me not deviate. I did a collaboration editorial shoot in 2023. And the location, the people I got on, it was strictly based on social currency of my friends who pulled in strings for me, my friends and my people. So, yeah.
Social currency?
Social currency.
I have not heard of that.
It's a thing.
I have not heard of it. But social currency, when I think about it, when you're saying, it's so important.
It's very important.
But we don't value it enough.
Oh, we should. Going back to Harriet, I know I'm overflogging it. One thing she told me when I got to Qatar, prioritize exchange of value over exchange of money. And it works like magic. I like money. Don't get me wrong. I really, really like money. But I don't make it about money so that we can exchange values. If I collect money from you today, maybe that's it. But if I don't do that and we can exchange values, maybe there's something even bigger I'll get from it. So, yeah.
You're such a role model.
Oh,
you really are. No, seriously, you're a role model. And my next question is this. Okay. You've got 230 million people in Nigeria. Okay. And I know these stats. And 60% of those are 24 and below.
Correct. Oof.
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm not bad.
You are.
What kind of messages? You've done so many things. Yes. What are those messages that you can give them belief with to go and do whatever they want to do?
Man, I'm a testimony that you can do and be anything you want to do. Started off in finance, now firmly rooted in fashion. Started off in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian girl with a green passport, and I've gone on to do so many things. So I think I am the example. If I can do it, this is not any motivational speak. If I can do it, then you can do it. Believe, reach high, aim high, and just be steadfast and network, like I said. Yeah.
Your business, DWL,
defining women's lifestyle.
Oh wow!
I like the way it sounds.
I got it. And I'm thinking to myself, more questions that I can ask you on this podcast, but I don't want to, because I want to remember that laugh you've got and what this DWL stands for.
Yes.
I got to thank you for coming onto the podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I had such a great time.
You are a star.
Thank you.
And I mean this truthfully. We use that thing about when you get up and you're going for this singing competition, I tell you, you're going to win any competition that you're going to go up for.
And I believe you.
I believe you too. I believe you. Everybody, I just want to say one or two things. Today was magnificent for me, okay? You've just got to have a dream. You've got to have an inspiration. You've got to have a desire, okay? And then everything else is just secondary. All you've got to do is you've got to keep on going out there and show people what you've got. Show people what you've got. But it's going to take hard work and determination. I'm not a broken record. I'm telling you the truth. Nothing is easy, but you will find people along the way that will see all of those traits in you, and they will start helping you get to that next level. Don't ever stop believing. Don't ever but listen to people, okay? If it's not going in with your trend. You're the only person that can make things happen.
Sure. Keep at it.
And here's the winner of the singing competition today. Ta-da! Thank you for listening. Until next week. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.